In the podcast jungle with a mic and machete. Aldreama, Harper, she ready and steady. OrganizedPreneur with a plan.
Well, hey there, OrganizedPreneurs. Welcome back to another episode of the OrganizedPreneur Podcast Launchpad. This is where we talk all things strategy, systems, and streamlining of your business and podcast, helping you to turn your calling into content that changes lives. I am your host, Aldreama Harper, and today we're actually kicking off a brand new series, and I am super excited. So this series is actually called Lead Gen Made Simple, the Launch, Host, and Grow series. Well, what do you think? Let me know what you think about that. So over the next few episodes, I'm going to walk you through how to stop spinning your wheels with lead generation and build a system that actually works. And this is without tech stress, social burnout, and complicated funnels. You know, I'm at the point in my life where, I just don't want to overcomplicate things. I don't need a whole lot of stuff to complicate my life. And so today we are actually starting off with a big one. Today's episode is entitled, Why Most Lead Gen Strategies Just Don't Work Anymore. I know that's a long title, but I bet you got the point. Let's get into it. So, have you ever felt like you're doing all the things, all the stuff, posting, doing reels, flipping wheels, writing newsletters, maybe even dancing on Instagram and still wondering, where are the leads? I never figured out how dancing on Instagram and TikTok gets you leads, but I digress. But if you have been wondering why you're still not getting leads, where are they? I'm doing cartwheels around here. Well, you're not alone. And if you're doing cartwheels, stop it. All right? Oh my goodness. But you're not alone. And it's not because you're not talented. It's not because you don't have the skills. It's because your offer isn't valuable. It's because most lead generation advice is built on outdated tactics, or it's designed for a business model that just doesn't match yours. So let's talk about it. Here's the truth. Being visible is not the same as being strategic. You might want to write that one down. You can have all the visibility in the world, but if there is no clear path for your audience to follow, it's just wah-wah noise. I call it the content treadmill. You're running hard, you're sweating, but you're exhausted. But you're not actually going anywhere. Does all that sound familiar to you? It brings back a whole lot of memories, when, and this was way back before there was this thing. It was content, but it wasn't called content, right? But as I was thinking about this episode, I went back to my early days as an entrepreneur, my first entrepreneurial endeavor. Well, it may not have been the first one. It's the first one I remember. I was in high school. And in fact, I was in junior high school. And I used to sell popcorn balls and snacks for the kids and myself, because I love snacks too, right? But I lived on a street, and I remember the name of the street well, it's still the same name. I just don't live on it, but it's St. Patrick Street. And so as the bus would pass my house, the bus stop would stop right in front of my house. And so the kids had to walk through my little, area where I lived in order to get home. And so when I started selling these popcorn balls, I put a sign in the window before school and after school. And because I was in school, I didn't want people knocking at the door while I was not there, bugging my parents, right? So before school, I would put a sign in the window that said, snacks. And I would just kind of name the little snacks. It was a handwritten sheet of paper, just handwritten with snacks, things like that. And I would name out the snacks, popcorn balls. I can't remember, like just different little, candies and things like that. And so no cartwheels, no reels, no TikTok dances, none of that. A simple sign. Like, why can't we just bring back the simplicity of marketing? And I know one of those reasons is because we're in the online space, but that still doesn't mean it has to be complicated. And I know, things are saturated. And so, but that was the gist. This is my point. I'm landing the plane here. The gist was the gist of my marketing plan. Now, it was a good strategy because the strategy was to make sure that I captured the attention of the kids that was walking through the yard after they got off the bus. And then the next day, before they got on the bus, they would, grab their snacks, things like that. It was a simple process. So I said all that just to talk about just keeping things simple. Stop running so hard. Stop being so exhausted and not getting anywhere. And so if that sounds familiar to you, then listen up, because this is why content alone isn't enough. That's one of the reasons, right? We've overcomplicated things. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't create content, because that's where we are now. Content is important. But content without a system is like baking without a recipe. You get something, but it might not be what you wanted, right? And so a lot of business owners are told, post more, show up more, do more. But no one tells you what to do with all that attention once you have it. You don't need more content. You need a strategy that turns your content into connection, and your connection into conversions. Now that's a sweet strategy, right? That's a sweet recipe. What a good strategy should do is a good lead generation strategy, rather. It should attract the right people, build trust quickly, invite them into a valuable free experience. You're going to need people to experience you. Nurture them with attention and eventually convert them into paying clients. It's not about chasing strangers. Please stop doing that. It's about building relationships with ease. And that's exactly what the Launch, Host, and Grow method is designed to do. It's a simpler way to generate leads. And so I created this method without even knowing what to call it. And I've been doing this for years. I just didn't know what to call it. And so now I have a clever little saying that says exactly what it does, or exactly what to do. Launch, host, and grow Okay. It's a simpler way to generate leads. And so I created this method because I was tired of watching amazing, talented women waste time on tactics that didn't move the needle. I get this all the time. I get this when I am doing my podcasting masterclass. People want to know, what to do. They're doing all the things or they don't know how to start. And so here is a preview of what we'll be diving into over the next few episodes. So launch. Launch what? Launch your own podcast. Not just for fun, but as a lead magnet, an authority builder that works, guess what? While you're sleeping, while you're over there snoring. Okay? And that's the first step. That's the first part of the method. It's the launch, host, and grow method. Next, host. Host a simple virtual event that doesn't require a big list or fancy tech or any of those things, but it still attracts leads like a magnet. And then grow your email list. Listen, if you are not growing an email list, you are going to just really leave money on the table. So you want to grow your email list in a way that feels aligned, intentional, and automated without losing that personal connection. Now, I just gave you the picture of, with my first business and everything. We didn't have like email lists, okay, back in the day, okay, because I'm talking about back in the 1970s, okay. And if we had email lists, I didn't know anything about them. Anyway, I digress. But the point of the launch, host, and grow method is that each part supports the other. And so together, they create a repeatable system that works for you. So why this works best for service-based entrepreneurs, especially if you're a coach, a consultant, or a service-based business owner. This is especially important because you're not just selling products, you're selling transformation, you're selling trust, you're selling support. And people don't want to just buy, they want to believe. And in order to believe in you, they need to know you. They need to know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Because listen, it is all about them. Say this with me, THEM, them. And so the launch, host, and grow method gives them all three very naturally. So here is your homework. This is a takeaway for you today. I want you to look at your current marketing efforts and ask yourself, is there a clear path? Is there a clear path from discovery to conversion? Or are you just posting and hoping, like twiddling your thumbs and thinking, oh, okay, if I post this, let me go back and see who commented, who put a like in the comments. Guess what? That's not paying the bills. Okay? So I want you to look at your current marketing efforts and ask yourself, is this a clear path from discovery to conversion? Or are you just posting and hoping? If there's no clear path, don't worry. I got you. Because that's exactly what we're going to fix together. Now, the best way to get started is to watch the free masterclass that I created for you. It is free, it is on demand, and in this masterclass, I take a deeper dive into what to do through this process of launching, hosting, and growing your business. So now I didn't get into all of the details today, but here's what I want you to do. The first thing I want you to do is ask yourself if there's a clear path. The second thing I want you to do is to go and check out the 3-part framework that I just mentioned in the masterclass, which will give you practical examples and action steps. It's hosted over on this link is where you're going to go. You're going to go to bit.ly/launch host grow class. It's like all one word except for bit.ly. Okay. You can go and watch it on demand. And through that 3-part framework, launching, hosting, and growing that I just mentioned, how that works. It's totally free, totally free, totally free. Did I say totally free? Yeah, I did. Listen, it's totally free. It's on demand, and I promise it is going to change how you see podcasting and lead generation forever. Now, again, I did not get into all the details on this episode because if you go and watch the masterclass, then guess what? You will leave with a plan because each part supports the other. It is a complete system and a framework that's going to get you off of that content hamster wheel. So, listen, I want you to stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. We're going to talk a little bit more about the methodology and how you can get off the content hamster wheel. And so head on over to the masterclass so that you can find out how you can grow your business. Okay. And I really do look forward to hearing your feedback. I look forward to hearing your success. Okay. Again, this is a totally free masterclass. Now, I want you to keep growing. I want you to keep showing up. I want you to keep serving. And if you've been thinking about launching a podcast, now is the time. Now is the time. Okay. So again, head on over to the masterclass. I'll drop the link in the show notes of this episode. Thank you for tuning in to the OrganizedPreneur Podcast Launchpad. If you love this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Until next time, keep organizing your business, your life, and your podcasting journey. Prepare well, then trust God for the results. This is Aldreama signing off for now. Have an amazing day.
Clarity and chaos, wearing that crown. Growth for your biz, success all around. In the podcast world, she's renowned. Infused with hustlers.